Hi, welcome. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. And today we are interviewing the founder of Extra Point Solutions and a substitute teacher in the West Bloomfield School District named Nick O'Shea. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I can't ever complain. How about you, Max?
Doing great. What is Extra Point Solutions, or sometimes known as XPS?
Yep. So I started XPS as a marketing agency where we work to find opportunities for athletes. We were specifically focused on NIL, which is name, image, and likeness, which is a way for college athletes to monetize their careers. And as we've grown, we've started to create other opportunities for them, whether it's through camps or endorsements or really. I just try to be a resource for these athletes in any way I can.
So are you essentially a manager for them?
In a sense, at times, I can act as a manager if they need. Some athletes look for guidance through branding. Other athletes look for guidance to build their social media or build their personal brand. Some athletes, they handle their branding themselves, and they just look for opportunities to monetize their career. My relationship and my role for athletes really varies based on each athlete themselves.
What is your education?
Well, I graduated from West Bloomfield High School in 2018, and then I went on to play football at Morgan State, where I graduated in 2021, 2022. Kind of between those 2 years, I graduated with a degree in strategic communications and multimedia journalism, and bachelor's degree there. And yeah, I'd say that's probably where my education stands right now.
Did you do a double major and a minor as well?
No, so it's really just a communications degree. They put a couple titles on it to make it sound fancier. But no, it's just one major, just a communications major, really. I was originally a marketing major, and then ended up kind of shifting my focus towards the communication side of things. But I still consider myself a marketing guy at heart.
So do you do marketing for Extra Point Solutions, or do you have a different person who runs that?
So yeah, I do marketing for Extra Point Solutions, but I do have a team that helps me out a lot. We've got Michael Astorino, who does all of our digital marketing. He handles our social media and our website. And we've got Brian Bex, who handles marketing for athletes specifically. He's more of a manager role for us. But yeah, those are my two main guys right now.
Are you guys currently hiring?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to bringing people on as it makes sense for us, and if we can make it make sense for them. We're still a new company, just over a year into it now, and we represent over 81 athletes, and we're growing every day. And I'm always open to bringing on new roles and bringing people in to serve new roles wherever we can make it make sense.
So you don't have like set roles where you're hiring necessarily, but it's kind of like if someone was to reach out to you saying, here's what they do, and you found a role, then you'd do the interview for it and then see.
For sure, yeah. We're a small business, we're a new business, and as we're open to designing roles that fit. I believe that um, we find the most success when we're able to design a role that fits a personality specifically. Off the top of my head, we can always use help on specific campuses to represent. Like, for example, we represent multiple athletes at the University of Michigan. So we're bringing on a couple interns at Michigan to help facilitate deals in Ann Arbor. We could always use help in branding side of things, PR side of things, and helping athletes get their name out there. We can use a lot of help, to be honest, as we grow. There are some specific roles off the top of my head that we can use some help in. I truly believe that there's always a better opportunity for us and personality specifically when we're able to design a role that fits them specifically.
For the roles that you're thinking of, could you name those?
Yeah, I think any college kids who are on a campus where we represent athletes, athletes could always use another resource on campus. I think sales roles, every company relies on their sales guys. You got to bring in money to continue building your company. So those roles specifically, sales and campus ambassadors, like I said, always could use help in PR as well. Social media plays a big role in the NIL space, so we could always use help on social media. Anyone who has knowledge in social media and helping athletes build their brand, or helping anyone build their brand, really, we could always use as well.
And people can just go to your website and reach out to you if they're interested.
Yep, extrapointsolutions.com. No E. It's Xtra Point Solutions. You can reach out to us there, or nick.o'shea at extrapointsolutions.com is my email. They're welcome to reach out there as well.
Both those will be linked in the description and also the blog post on my website. What is your schedule like?
So I'm a substitute teacher at West Bloomfield High School. So I'm in the high school from 7 a.m. to about 3 p.m. every day. I also coach football and golf at the high school. This will be my first season coming up as the golf coach here in the spring. My schedule varies during the football season with practices and games, but I'm really pretty free after 3 p.m. usually.
When you say you're a football coach, what role of football are you coaching?
Yep. So to be honest with you, I try to stay in my lane. I don't try to, speak on anything or do anything that I'm not the best guy to talk about it. And my lane is kickers. I was a kicker in high school and college, and my role on the team is the kicking coach, punting coach. I help out with long snappers, and then just again being a resource to the rest of the team any way I can, whether they need help, whether they need help through something off the field or need help. Maybe they're trying to build their personal brand for when they do get in college and can make some NIL money. Whatever it may be, I just try to be a resource to not only athletes but just people in general.
What is necessarily NIL?
So NIL is the term. It stands for name, image, and likeness. At the end of the day, it's really all NIL deals that you see are really regular endorsement deals, regular sponsorship deals. The only difference is through NIL, in college sports specifically, athletes can only sign endorsements through NIL, which means that they can't make money based on their on-field performance. They can only make money based on their name, image, and likeness.
Now, are a lot of the athletes you work with big names, or are they more small people?
We've got both. I think every athlete has their own niche, and we've got D2, D3 athletes, NAIA athletes, and we also represent some guys and girls who are household names, some big time players, and we have access to a couple pro athletes as well. But yeah, we represent athletes on every end of the spectrum, really, and in every sport too.
Do you do more than just college sports?
So right now, I'd say 95, maybe more percent of our roster is college athletes. We do work with a couple pro agents in the space who kind of outsource their marketing needs to us to represent their pro athletes. And high school sports are actually moving in the direction of legalizing NIL. NIL is legal in multiple states right now. Michigan's not one of them yet, but it was recently passed by the House. So here in Michigan, high school student athletes will even be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness too.
Are you really excited for that when that comes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to help these high school guys and girls through, guide them through the NIL process. We're not really trying not to get ahead of myself too much, and kind of focus on the athletes that we do have and serve them to the best of my ability. But we're also ready there when it's possible.
Do you ever have a problem with NIL ever being like, some people are like, image isn't necessarily everything by like looks, and it's more personality and performance? Do you ever run into that issue as an NIL business owner?
Not too much yet, to be honest with you. The NIL space is kind of the Wild West right now. It's such a new space that the NCAA is still regulating things, and there's new laws all the time that come into play, and we're here to play by those laws. But it changes every day. We haven't run into any issues yet, but it's definitely a big piece to the industry, is just staying updated on those laws and those new regulations and stuff like that.
How long is NIL been around for?
About, I believe, almost 3 years now. So what was it, 2021, I believe?
How'd you get into sports management?
So in college, to be honest with you, my whole life I always thought you needed a law degree to be a pro agent, to be an NFL agent. And then when I was in college and started looking into the sports business space, I realized that you don't need a a law degree to be an NFL agent, and you just need a postgraduate degree to get your NFLPA certification. And that was my plan at that point in time, is to go get a postgraduate degree. It was probably going to be in marketing, and get my NFLPA certification and be an NFL agent. And then I had the opportunity to intern with a couple of agents out of college, and kind of realized that that space wasn't for me. I realized why you do need a law degree and how important it is to have a law degree. And I really had no aspirations of getting into the legal side of that stuff. So I stepped back and thought about what type of asset I could be in different spaces. And as the NIL industry was growing and athletes were focused on building their brands and athletes were focused on taking advantage of NIL opportunities, I saw it as a perfect space for me.
If NIL wasn't a thing when you decided that the marketing wasn't for you, where would you see yourself now?
I would see myself in the corporate marketing role, to be honest with you. I'm a marketing guy at heart. I also love, I would say either the marketing side of things or the, community relations side of things, and getting businesses involved with, community events and things like that.
What inspired you to create Extra Point Solutions?
Um, a couple things. Going back to high school, DECA played a huge role in me kind of finding myself. I was able to, through West Bloomfield High School's DECA program, I was able to get some real world experience. And, we ran a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We ran a fundraiser called Kick It for Cancer. And I was able to see how important marketing can be in the world of business, and kind of realized that I had a passion for it. I was also able to realize my passion for getting involved with community events and nonprofits in high school. And then, when I graduated college, like I said, I realized the pro agent field wasn't for me, and, had to take a step back. And to be honest with you, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so I leaned on my network and my friends and family. When I finished playing in college, NIL wasn't a thing. NIL became legal the year I stepped away from college sports, and so I didn't have any personal experience as an athlete. And as I talked to a lot of my friends who were still in college and playing, and talking to them about what they're doing branding wise and what they're doing NIL wise, I realized that there was a need for someone like me in the space.
Marketing classes did you take when you were at West Bloomfield High School?
I took every marketing class I could. I took, intro to marketing. I took fashion and merchandising. I took sports marketing. I took advanced marketing. Um, you know, I think I actually took sports marketing twice. I took every marketing class I could, really.
Are there any teachers that you want to thank that helped for your success in today?
Definitely. I really like, I tell people all the time, West Bloomfield High School, West Bloomfield Schools played a huge role in, create helping me find myself and being a support system for me. I went through a lot in high school, and West Bloomfield was always a system that was there for me and supported me. Specifically, Julie Zala, who runs the marketing program, Lisa Sallin, who runs the DECA program. Um, Jed Jones runs the special needs program and gave me great opportunities to get involved there. I could really go on and on about teachers at West Bloomfield and staff at West Bloomfield, Eric Pace, Pat Watson. Everybody played a big role. West Bloomfield schools in general supported me in every way I could think of. And, not even in high school. When I was done with college, like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And Coach Grice got me back coaching at the high school. And I don't know how much you know about high school sports, but here in Michigan, they don't have a huge budget to pay coaches like that. So they were able to get me a job in the school as a substitute teacher to kind of, help me pay my bills, to be quite honest with you, and put me in a position where I was still able to coach. And it's really been a perfect situation for me. It's given me the opportunity to, as a substitute teacher, my day ends at 3 o'clock every day, and I'm able to come home and or go to meetings and get work done for XPS.
Are you the kind of person that if you don't have anything going on, that you're sort of stuck at home with nothing
Uh,
on board?
Not often. I've got I'm really close with a lot of friends and really close with my family, and I always find things to do. But I've also realized that being busy is a good thing. Again, I it's a two-part question. I would say I don't find myself bored a lot, but I do find myself looking for more often, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I think I'm the same way. If I don't have something going on, then I sit around and do pointless things that then it's like, well, I could have done this. And then, so I always try and be more busy than not. But once in a while, it's really good to have a day of nothing.
For sure, yeah, and I definitely feared. I went through phase, I went through phases where I feared being busy and feared not being able to meet expectations with the busy schedule. But then, to be honest, this company made me realize that busy's good, and you have to push yourself and put yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable, and being busy leads to opportunities that you don't always see coming.
Yeah, I mean, to almost have 300 subscribers in 7 years of doing YouTube, I didn't think I would hit that. I didn't even think I'd get to 100. I just posted videos because I enjoyed it. So,
And I love that you said that, man. I think enjoying what you do in the last 2 3 years since I've been back at West Bloomfield involved in coaching and teaching, I've realized how important it is to enjoy what you do. And through the company, I've realized that when you enjoy what you do and have a passion for what you do, it doesn't seem like work. It's to do something you're passionate about is a blessing.
and I think that's an important role too, because so many people are like, oh, I got to get a job. I have to work, do something. And it's like, no, find something you're passionate about, get a job in there so your work feels like you're fun. And when you get home, you have more fun.
Definitely, definitely. It's so important to enjoy what you do, man. And a lot of people, as you get older, you find yourself in positions where you need to work and you need to pay your bills, but it's a lot tougher when you don't enjoy what you do. And I've been there. I did take one job out of college, kind of in that gap between me not knowing what I wanted to do out of college and kind of figuring out that the agent field wasn't for me. And between that time and finding myself at West Bloomfield, I took a job in tech sales, and it was good money, and it was working from home. It was a good opportunity, but I didn't enjoy it. And you know, it, it's a lot easier to, in my opinion, from my experience, it's a lot easier to find success when you truly have a passion for what you do, and you don't view it as a 9 to 5, and you don't mind putting in the extra hours, and it doesn't always feel like extra hours.
And I just want to thank everyone at WB for all they do. I mean, there's great people. They're always there to make a difference. Even, and there's some people that complain about certain ways people teach or not. But regardless of how you think of the teaching or whatever happens, if something happens and you say something to them, they will be there for you in a heartbeat, regardless of past experiences.
Yep, and yeah, West Bloomfield's a family to me. That they care, and that means so much in the school system in general. I think a lot of people don't know, but when I was a senior in high school, I lost my dad in October my senior year, and West Bloomfield was there for me every step of the way. The football team, the administration, the teachers, everybody was there for me in different ways, and something that I would have never expected. I enjoyed school. I didn't enjoy the work that came with it. But I realized how important of a role a school can play, even when you don't realize it.
I am sorry for your loss.
I
Those
appreciate that. Yeah,
those
I
things
appreciate it.
are hard to deal with. And even if you realize like life changing mistakes that people make too, that those all play a role. There's
Yep.
there's been some of those. I've gotten lucky this year that none of that actually happened, but it could have. And there's always rough mistakes that people make and
Yep. Definitely.
not realizing in the moment what could happen.
For sure. We all make mistakes in life, and I think life's all about perspective, man. Losing my dad was the toughest thing I've ever been through. But at the same time, I've learned more from that situation than anything else in life. And that situation played a very, very big role in helping me find who I am today, and me helping me find what's important to me. And it's all about perspective. Life's about perspective.
What are some of those things that you did learn?
Before my dad, to be honest with you, football was the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me every day when I woke up is becoming a better kicker, one, and two, I was focused on my recruiting. I was trying to find opportunities to play in college, and every day I would wake up and email coaches, and I would go kick, and I would try to be the best football player I can and put myself in the best opportunities as a football player. And then after my dad, I realized that football wasn't everything to me. In the time, it was a big piece, but family is everything to me. Being a good person is everything to me, and just making a difference in the community is everything to me now.
Is there anyone you want to thank for helping you create Extra Point Solutions?
Tons of people. There's one of my best friends, Nick Seidel. Nick Seidel. He was also a West Bloomfield alum. He graduated in 2018 with me. He was on the football team with me. He was in DECA groups with me. And Nick's a super intelligent kid, and we kind of have a lot of different. We have very different mindsets. And so as I was creating the company, I ran everything by him, and he was able to bring different perspectives into the view for me, and helped me create something that made sense for everybody and not just myself. One of my other best friends, Nikon Katabai, he works in the esports space, esports marketing specifically, and he plays a different side of the space, but he works with influencers all the time, and facilitates sponsorship deals all the time. So he was able to share a lot of knowledge with me that is very relatable. Coach Daryl Bingham he's a big piece of the West Bloomfield football program, and just a great mentor in general. He's a leader, a mentor, very educated in the business space. He helped me a lot. Even the teachers at West Bloomfield, Julie Zala, Lisa Sallin, they helped me a lot. And really my friends and family. Out of college, like I said, I was trying to find myself, and football was a big piece of my life. And when I was done playing, I lost that, and I needed to find what was the next chapter for me. And my friends and family gave me the confidence to find myself and pursue what I found.
Hmm? Do you believe in the saying of like everything in life serves a purpose? There is nothing you do that isn't there. Like if you make a friend that you later lose, or if you do something at the time but don't end up doing it after a couple years, I think everything that you do or make friends with, it all serves a purpose at that time. So then to live with regret, it sucks. You shouldn't do it, but at the same time, some people may not know how.
For sure. I mean, we all make mistakes. We make mistakes every day, right?
Mhm.
And you know, it, you got to learn from it. And if you can learn from your mistakes to be a better person, that's the closest you can get to striving to be perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to mess up. Everybody's going to make mistakes. But if you can learn from the mistakes and keep a positive mindset and keep your confidence, I think that'll separate you from the rest.
That's what makes a perfect win. There's not really a perfect win, but necessarily it you always are learning something, even at the end of every situation. Everything happens for a reason.
100% agree with that. 100%
You,
agree.
you may not like the outcome, but there's always a reason something happens.
And like I said, it's all perspective. If you don't like the outcome, take the knowledge you learned and go create something or make a change where you do like the outcome.
How can people find Extra Point Solutions?
So our website, extrapointsolutions.com. Like I said, Extra Point Solutions is spelled XTRA Point Solutions. You can also find us on Instagram at Extra Point Solutions. I'd say those are the two main places. I'd say Instagram has a lot of great content and is generally most up to date, but our website provides a lot of great information too.
Those will be linked on my website and the description below. What is the hardest part about your job?
The hardest part about my job, I'd say, there's a learning curve. When you start a business, there's no the right and wrongs aren't defined. You've got to learn, like we were just talking about. You've got to try, and growing up as an athlete and playing sports, there is a right and wrong. You do what your coach tells you, and being a student athlete, there is a right and wrong. You either pass the test or you fail it, right? But in business, there's not always a right or wrong. You gotta there. There's only what's right for you and what's right for your company and what's right for your team. And yeah, I think that's one of the harder parts about my job, is kind of just having the confidence to go out there and do it and learn along the way. I'd say another more of a personal note, but is balance. I kind of have an obsessive personality. I become obsessed with what I do, and when I love something, I put everything into it. And I love this company, and I love what I do. And sometimes I work 20 hours, not 20-hour days, but close sometimes, right? And sometimes it's hard to put it down and say I need my sleep or I need my peace, right? But I also, like you said, everything happens for a reason. I don't kick myself too hard for working too hard either.
As long as you're having fun with it works out.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Like there are sometimes, sure, I might get a lower number than sleep than normal, but there's a reason I did it. Like it doesn't suck as much as if you just stay up for no reason.
Yeah, and you know, we make sacrifices every day, right? And if I wasn't working my butt off and working these long nights, I'd probably be sacrificing that to go do something that I didn't enjoy as much. And working a 9 to 5 that I don't have the passion for. And I think it's all, but finding a balance is important. It's not easy for me. I learn. I try to find a better balance every day in life. But that's a big piece of being an entrepreneur is finding balance.
What's the easiest thing about your job?
The easiest part about my job is being there for my athletes. Selling my athletes. I believe in every one of the athletes that are on our roster. And when I talk to a company or talk to an organization who's interested in the athletes, it's easy for me because I believe in them and I believe in their capabilities. I believe in what they can do for a company. I believe in what they believe in. And I'd say that's the easiest part is doing what's right for the athlete. Our motto at Extra Point Solutions is the athlete's way. We don't define how you market yourself. We don't define what deals you can or can't take. We take your morals and your beliefs and your goals, and we try to incorporate that however we can.
Do you suggest opinions to them if you've experienced something? But if
For
they
sure.
but if they say no, you don't do it.
For sure. Yeah. The athletes, obviously, I'm always here to have an opinion, and some athletes look for my opinion more than others. But I always give my insight. But at the end of the day, the athletes, there's a process to these deals. Obviously, we have to work with companies to figure out what their goals are, their marketing goals, and we create campaigns and I bring ideas to the table that we think might make sense for them because if it doesn't make sense for the business, it won't be a conversation in the first place. And then after we figure out what's going to work for us in the business or that what we believe would work for the business and the athlete, then the last person to sign off on any deal is the athlete. If it doesn't make sense for them, it won't happen.
What is your least favorite part about your job?
That's a tough question. I really do love what I do right now. The hardest part for me was learning that, when I first started this company, my main goal throughout the first year was build this company, build a brand, and make a difference in athletes' careers. And I think we did a great, great job of that over the first year. But throughout the first year, I also realized that you need to make money for a business for it to sustain it. And I wish money didn't come into play, right? I wish I could do everything in the world for an athlete and continue to do it. And but to sustain a business, you need to bring in money too. So I'd say that's my least favorite part. I wish I could be there for everybody. I wish we ran into we reached our cap within the company. We have 81 athletes now. I wish I could help every athlete in the world, and I I do believe we'll get there though. I think as we grow, we'll bring on a bigger team and be able to facilitate deals for more athletes, and that's really our goal.
Where do you see yourself in the future with your company? Do you see yourself in an office space or do you see yourself all remote? Or
Um,
where in the future do you see your crew, the amount of people you take on?
yep. And I think I'm still kind of learning about that. To be honest with you, my mindset changes um, as I learn every day. But I would definitely love to have an office space in the next couple of years. I would love to have a bigger team. I would love to have, right now, like I said, we're a resource to our athletes. If an athlete goes on to make big money, and they need financial help, we might not have the resources here at Extra Point Solutions to provide them with that financial help, but I'm going to go find someone who does. And as our athletes go pro, we might not have the agents on staff to represent them as they go pro, but I'm going to go find someone who's a good person and who can serve them well, to do that. I do hope one day to have a bigger team where we can facilitate that all in house. I would love to have pro agents on staff. I would love to have financial professionals on staff. Right now I'm wearing a lot of hats, and my team's wearing a lot of hats. Um, yeah, I'd say that's my biggest goal, is getting to the point where we can, serve athletes in house, but at the same time, we're here to help them. We're here to help serve them however we can, and if that means we got to step outside of our company specifically to do that, we're willing to.
How big do you want to go? Do you want to remain a small business out of West Bloomfield, or do you want to go to other states too?
Yep. So I want to go as big as we can, man. I want to be able to serve as many athletes as we can, and I want to be able to serve them to the best of our ability. Obviously, West Bloomfield has a big place in my heart, and the network I have in West Bloomfield is irreplaceable. And you know, I'll always serve the athletes out of West Bloomfield, and I'll always work hard here in Michigan. I see myself being in Michigan long term. But right now we have athletes from all over the country. So we still are serving other athletes out of state. But yeah, I'd love to expand our team out of state as well.
Do you ever have anxiety?
Every day, man. Every day. Um, every day.
How do you get through it when you have it?
I think there's different ways to get through it. I think for me, oftentimes when I have anxiety, I sit back, and anxiety um, relates to losing confidence sometimes, and I think just pushing through that, and like I said, just doing it. Go out and do it. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and just remembering the bigger goal. Right? Obviously, you can stress out about any little situation, and you can blow it out of proportion in your mind too. Um, but just taking that next step is the biggest thing to me.
What is your advice for others on how they can deal with anxiety or other mental health illnesses?
Um, to be honest, the biggest thing for me was finding out what's important to me, sitting back and learning about yourself and being there for yourself. And like I said, everything's perspective. If you can look at situations that don't go your way in a way that you can learn from, instead of a way that affects you negatively, even if it did. I think that's a big piece. For me personally, it was family. I realized that I'm not only I'm not only here for myself. I'm here to make my mom proud. I'm here to be there for my family. I'm here to make my dad proud, my grandparents. But I'm here to make West Bloomfield proud.
Does Extra Point Solutions sell merch? If so, where can people find it?
So we don't sell merch. We do run events often. Well, we let me take that back. We have events planned in this year where we will be running events often. We've only really ran 2 events thus far, but this 2024 year we'll be running more events where we will have merch for each event. Some of our athletes have merch for their own brand specifically, but for Extra Point Solutions, no, we don't have merch yet.
You do so much with West Bloomfield High School's DECA, and why is that?
Um, a couple of reasons. I think DECA is a great resource for everybody. DECA was a great resource for me in high school, and DECA just did so much for me that I want to give back in any way I can, and whether that's give back to the DECA program specifically, or give back to the students who are in DECA. DECA just played such a big role in my life, and finding myself and building this company that I have, I wanna support them in any way I can too.
What you guys did hosted House Divided. What was that event?
Yep. So we incorporated three of our athletes on our roster from Extra Point Solutions, who all happen to be West Bloomfield alumni as well. So we took the Michigan State rivalry, and we took one player from Michigan State, Trey Mosley, and one player from Michigan, Samaj Morgan, who both happen to be wide receivers from West Bloomfield, and we hosted a watch party in their name, and we called it West Bloomfield House Divided, with promoting them and their brands. And we gathered at the brand new West Bloomfield Middle School, where we live streamed the Michigan State game, and we got T-shirts for everybody with Trey and Samaj on it, and we had food there, and really just tried to make it a community event where people can come enjoy the game. And Peyton Harvey was a cheerleader from West Bloomfield who cheers at the University of Michigan now, and she partnered with us and came and ran her first cheer camp at the event as well. So it was kind of a two-piece event. We had the watch party, and before the watch party, we had a cheer camp. Yeah, that's really it at a base level.
I want to thank you for joining. I had a lot of fun. I cannot wait to talk soon. I will share this online. Thank you for joining. I had a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what happens in the future. I will be seeing you soon, and everything is in the description. This will be shared online. And thanks for sharing your story. I'm happy to share it with everyone as well, and I'm glad we could do this.
I appreciate you, Max. This was awesome. You're great at what you do, and
Thank you.
however I can help you, let me know, man.
Yep.
Let's get some athletes on the show too. That would be awesome.
Yeah.